Welcome to ỌDADEƐ Radio, your go-to source for all news ỌDADEƐ. You're listening to the ỌDADEƐ 247 News. We are streaming from our studio here at the AMC on Presec Legon campus via the Zenu app and the ỌDADEƐ Radio app. Remember to follow us on all our social media handles, on Facebook at ỌDADEƐ Radio and ỌDADEƐ Ghana, on X and Instagram at ỌDADEƐ Radio. You can also share your thoughts via WhatsApp or text on 02000 92925 02000 92925. My name is Fiona Maulifia. Making our headlines today: Agribusiness Dialogue 2025 calls for a holistic reform in Ghana's agricultural sector. Keynote speaker of the conversations under the baobab tree questions Ghana's commitment to its own agricultural development strategies. 1 million Ghanaians face food insecurity, according to the World Food Programme data shared at the conversations under the Baobab Tree Dialogue. Beacon Sheila Cornelius urges farmers to add value to their produce to unlock global markets. Details of these stories and more coming up shortly. Stay with us. To our first story, the Presbyterian Old Boys Association, ỌDADEƐ, and industry leaders are calling for a bold, holistic approach to Ghana's agricultural sector. Speaking at the conversations under the Baobab Tree 2.0 dialogue held on Wednesday, July 30, 2025 in Accra, keynote speaker ỌDADEƐ James Boateng stressed that agriculture is the foundation of national development, food security, and job creation. Organized by the ỌDADEƐ Old Boys Association and sponsored by the EcoBank Ghana, the Conversations Under the Baobab Tree event brought together top experts including Professor Felix Ankuma Asante, Beacon Sheila Cornelius, ỌDADEƐ James Boateng, and several industry voices, all pushing for a renewed national focus on agriculture. Also, the keynote speaker at the just-ended conversation under the Baobab Tree, ỌDADEƐ James Boateng, has questioned Ghana's commitment to its own agricultural development strategies, highlighting the gap between policy formulation and practical implementation. Speaking to the House, ỌDADEƐ James Boateng referenced the Food and Agricultural Sector Development Policy, FASDEP, the current national framework meant to guide Ghana's agricultural transformation. He explained that although FASDEP is designed to ensure food security, emergency preparedness, increased competitiveness, and better export access, the structures meant to support its execution are failing. He also emphasized that Ghana's limited export performance in agriculture is largely due to non-competitiveness in meeting global quality and standards, a challenge that requires not only better regulations, but also significant investment in processing the supply chain systems. The keynote speakers call for greater alignment between policy and practice, added urgency to the forum's broader message that Ghana's agriculture holds vast potential, but only bold, consistent implementation will yield the transformation the nation needs. Also, Ghana's food security came under the spotlight, with data from the World Food Programme revealing that over 1 million Ghanaians are food insecure, and a similar number of children are malnourished. Speakers at the event attributed this to the erratic weather conditions, inflation, and policy inconsistency. They called on the government and stakeholders to adopt a long-term, stable agricultural framework to avoid deepening the crisis. Still on the conversations under the Baobab Tree, agribusiness expert Beacon Sheila Cornelius urged Ghanaian farmers to move away from selling raw produce and instead invest in value addition. Your produce is gold, don't sell it like gravel, she advised. She explained that the global demand for value-added agricultural products is rising. Ghana must position itself to take advantage of this lucrative market by investing in agro-processing, packaging, and branding.
What did they also do? They managed to invest into minivans that were moving from farm to farm at remote places. And they were processing the avocados now into puree and then into oil. This, in within 5 years, was able to shoot their revenue to 300%. Ghana, we can also do that. What can we do? We can also invest into solar-powered vans that can move to places, because as the speaker was speaking, logistics, where some of the farms are located, is not that easy. If you come to my farms, you see where they are. But when we have mini vans that can move into the interiors, this can help us with service losses, and we can add value to our produce. I will not talk much, but I will. And then one thing I want to leave for my farmers. Remember this, farmers and upcoming farmers, that your produce is gold. Don't sell it like gravels. Thank you.
And that was speaking Sheila Cornelius you heard. Also, Professor Felix Ankoma Asante, a leading economist and ỌDADEɛ alumnus, emphasized the role of infrastructure and mechanization in improving productivity. He noted, just as good roads benefit vehicles, good lands benefit crops. The dialogue closed with a unified call for more supportive policies, improved access to agricultural machinery, and private sector collaboration.
We have to find a way, get contractors who will have bulldozers, tree pushers, rakes, root cutters. No, all these things are important. How government will go and do it, or private people can get in and we show that this can work, is something that we need to discuss. There's a lot of land in this country, a lot of space to do clearing, proper clearing of land so that we can have agri going. I would say that good roads benefit vehicles, as good land clearing promotes agriculture mechanization. Thank you very much.
You're still listening to the ỌDADEɛ 247 news on ỌDADEɛ Radio. Let's take a short breather. We'll be back with more stories.
Hello, cherished listeners. I have good news for you all. If you are looking for the best flame grilled chicken in town, Barcelos Restaurant is here to serve you right with spicy, tasty, healthy flame grilled chicken only at Barcelos. You can locate our outlet at Accra Mall, West Hills Mall, Achimota Retail Center, and opening soon at Atomic Junction Mall. Call for your orders and deliveries on 030 2972 737.
Welcome back from the breather. Up next is some campus updates. Some campus updates. Some students at the Presbyterian Boys Secondary School who attended the Conversations Under the Baobab Tree 2.0 dialogue have been sharing their reflections and key takeaways with ỌDADEɛ Radio's campus correspondent Oswald Boateng. The students expressed how inspired they were by the speaker's success stories and practical insights, especially the emphasis laid on value addition and the economic power of agriculture. Some students were struck by Beacon Sheila Cornelius' advice that your produce is gold, don't sell it like gravels. They also spoke about the need for young Ghanaians to embrace agriculture with the right mindset and innovation, calling it a failed field with untapped potential. Many described the event as eye-opening and expressed interest in exploring agribusiness opportunities after school. The dialogue may have ended, but for these young minds, the seeds of transformation have just been planted.
My name is Ejeku Imanu Akwesi, a proud member and a student of 3 Agri Science 1 and Resource. I attended a conversation under the Baobab Tree 2.0, and the theme for the whole program was a holistic approach towards agriculture in Ghana. Honestly speaking, I really learned a whole lot because my role model, James Boateng, the best farmer for 2018, was the main speaker, and he really pinpointed a whole lot about the agricultural sector. He made mention of we being food insecure, low access to inputs, raw materials, infrastructure, and many more. And as a student, I am really thankful to the ỌDADEɛ group for organizing this program to let students offering agriculture have a foreknowledge about the course they are offering. I am really thankful for this program.
My name is Stephen Adumakito, a student of Terra Group 1 and a member of Laboni House of 6. I noted some problems and their solutions Ghana is facing when it comes to agriculture under the conversation at the Baobab Tree. One major problem is poor network. Route to farms are very bad considering the location of most farms. This makes transportation of fertilizers, seedlings, and harvested crops very difficult. I think if we want to improve agriculture in Ghana, we have to act fast to a problem like this.
Amakun Sylvester is my name, a student of 3 Agri Science 1, member of Accra House. I attended a program with my fellow colleagues hosted by Presec Old Boys, and the theme was holistic approach towards agriculture in Ghana. A lot was said and a lot was learned. So starting as an agripreneur after school, I would like to take on a 3-year agri course at the university, precisely K University. After that, I'll start cultivating my own piece of land, that's small-scale farming. When I see it's going on well, I will seek a loan from a financial institute to help expand my farms. After, I'll invest more into agri fields.
My name is Neil Mills. I'm in 2 Agri 1, House 14, an attendee of the conversation under the Baobab Tree. And a lot of useful information was shared that I would like to enable me start as an extension officer after school. And the reason is that I would like us to counter the problem of having low amounts of extension officers in Ghana, and to help farmers identify the problems that they may face in agriculture and ways to solve those problems, and to earn more experience before starting a business in agriculture. Thank you.
Those were some students who attended the conversations under the Baobab Tree you heard. And that is how we wrap up the special edition of the ỌDADEɛ 247 News on ỌDADEƐ Radio. Here's a recap of our headlines. Conversations under the Baobab Tree dialogue calls for holistic reform in Ghana's agricultural sector. ỌDADEɛ James Boateng, keynote speaker of the conversations under the Baobab Tree, questioned Ghana's commitment to its own agricultural development strategies. 1 million Ghanaians face food insecurity, according to the World Food Programme data shared at the conversations under the Baobab Tree dialogue. Beacon Sheila Cornelius urged farmers to add value to their produce to unlock global markets. Once again, my name is Fiona Maulifia, and thank you for tuning in to the ỌDADEɛ 247 News on ỌDADEɛ Radio. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms, on Facebook at ỌDADEɛ Radio and ỌDADEɛ Ghana, on X and Instagram at ỌDADEɛ Radio, and stream us live on the Zenu app and the ỌDADEɛ Radio app. Stay connected, stay informed, and keep the ỌDADEɛ light shining.